Hi, I'm Stevie Fernandez.
And I'm Trish Whitmer. It's good to have you with us for this week's Explore Tulsa. All right, Stevie, 2 weeks in, how are we doing on New Year's resolutions?
Well, great, because my resolution was to work out more, and I finally got my workout machine put together, and that was my first workout. Now, these old bones could use some relaxation and meditation.
Well, then I know just the thing. Float therapy.
I don't think so, Trish. I'm not a very good swimmer.
There is no swimming involved, Stevie. At H2Oasis, you just relax and let the float pools do all the work.
You know, that's the best part of it for me, is the people who come through these doors. It's just the best clientele in town. They're people who are interesting. Some of them are in search of help. Some of them bring a great light with them. Some of them are coming looking for peace. Some of them are in pain. Some of them are anxious. And almost everybody leaves with a little bit more peace than they came with.
I wanted to from the time I first heard about float pools and float tanks and sensory deprivation chambers, but there was never a place in Oklahoma when I was growing up at the time that I knew about them. This would have been the 80s. So I had to wait until about 8 years ago to float for the first time, and it was in a place in Santa Fe. And I loved it, but there wasn't anything close, so I never pursued it anymore. About a couple of years ago, Edmond opened up their first float center, beautiful space, and me and my business partner would go there on weekends and float and fell in love with it. And I travel a lot, so whenever I would travel, I'd always find a float center, whether it was outside the country or in other states, as would my business partner. And so when Edmond opened up, we were like, great, somebody's gonna do this in Tulsa now. We kept waiting and nobody did. So at some point we just decided, let's just do it. Let's just open up a small float center in Tulsa so we can float. Because we didn't have something like this when we were growing up here, we really wanted to bring something that we could offer folks that are here that don't travel like we do, or maybe don't have the background or the information or the skills that we had acquired over the years. So we wanted to bring something to our community and build it and find other people like us in the community that are already interested in doing the most fabulous alternative type things. People float for many reasons. Usually there's some categories. Physical, they have some kind of chronic pain, back pain, fibromyalgia, something that is just disrupting the life and the quality of life. So floating really helps with that, because when you float, there's no gravity. You're floating, you have a lot of magnesium. We have almost 1,400 pounds of Epsom salt in our pools. So you get that benefit too. Every muscle relaxes. So you got the physical, you've got the mental. So some folks have anxiety, depression, or PTSD, and studies are starting to lean in the direction showing all the advantages of floating for those, lowering cortisol, the stress hormone, and a variety of other things. Water quality is very important, so there are some things you can't do if you want to float in our pools. You can't have discolored your hair. You can't get a spray tan. So there's just a few things like that we want to review and go over and let people know what to expect. We do a thorough walkthrough, so we'll show people the center. We'll take them into the pool room and show them all the buttons, all the gadgets, you know, everything from putting your earplugs in properly to, you know, how we need you to shower and condition your hair after the float, to where the buttons are and how you know when the end of a float is up, so that you don't have to spend your float going, oh my God, am I supposed to get out?
When I see the people who have come and who have floated, and they come out of the float room, maybe starry-eyed, maybe alert and ready to go, but almost always joyful about the experience. When I see that, it makes it all worthwhile. It's been a long and rocky road to get to this place. We started with a much smaller vision, a couple of float tanks, and when we found this space called to us, and we thought, well, we're going to need to expand our vision a little bit, and that's when we realized that we had the opportunity to invite community and to find other people with like-minded interests and to offer what we found with flotation to the rest of the community, and that's been just amazing.